All right, well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Parks, Culture and Recreation Board meeting on December 3rd at 5:30. I will call this meeting to order. We'll start with a roll call, and if you want to start on your side, Justin, and we'll go around the table.
All right, Justin Beard with Lacey Parks Culture and Recreation.
Gary Waterton, Commissioner.
Bill Fosbury, Commissioner.
I'm Sue Palash, Recreation Manager with Lacey Parks Culture and Recreation.
Lori Davies, Commissioner.
Hillary Dykstra, Commissioner.
Aaron Wheeler, Board Chair.
Jenny Wilson, Parks Planner.
Corey Gibson, Executive Assistant.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. I forgot to ask anyone to do the land acknowledgement, so I'll just do it real quick. We, the city of Lacey, are on the ancestral lands of the tribal people of the Treaty of Medicine Creek, including the Nisqually Indian Tribe and the Squaxin Island Tribe. We acknowledge and remember those tribal people not recognized today who were absorbed or relocated into other tribes for survival. We recognize the ancestors and their descendants who are still here. We recognize and respect the tribal people of the Treaty of Medicine Creek as the traditional stewards of this land since time immemorial, and their role today in taking care of these lands in perpetuity. We recognize and have the responsibility to call attention to the histories of dispossession, forced removal, and abridged treaty rights that allowed our nation, state, and city to develop as they have today. We recommend the community members read the Medicine Creek Treaty of 1854. All right, great. So moving on to item 4, which is approval and agenda of the minutes. Were there any questions or any changes that anyone need to be made to the agenda for today? All right, well, hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the minutes as written? Got a motion? Do I have a second? Second.
Clarify, approve the agenda.
Agenda. To approve the agenda, yeah. Oh, did I say minutes? Oh, I apologize. To approve the agenda. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, hearing none, then the motion carries and the agenda is approved. All right, now moving on to the approval of the November 5th, 2025 meeting minutes. Any discussion about anything in the minutes that anyone wanted to address? Okay, well, hearing none, then can I get a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Hillary moves. Do I have a second?
Second.
Other seconds? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, and then the motion carries and approved for the approval of the November 5th meeting minutes. Public comments. So in your packet, there were public comments that were in there. So please, read at your discretion. And it looks like that there's no online public comments. All right, then we will move past that onto line item 6, which is business items. So first up, we have the Lacey Community Center and Jacob Smith House, policies and deposits update. And it looks like that being done by you, Justin.
That's me.
Awesome. Give us the.
All right, thank you guys for having me tonight. It's been a few years since we visited the policies and procedures for the rental facilities. We had one change that we wanted to make and then decided while we're doing this, let's go through, make sure there's nothing else. And I came up with a few more. So hopefully everyone had a chance to look at it. The first change, I'd like to increase just the weekend deposits at the Lacey Community Center. It's been a $250 damage deposit for, well, forever. We increase the rates every couple of years and wanted to increase the deposit to 500 so that just kind of folks are staying longer and making more of a mess and get it in line with what other facilities are charging. So thought that 500 was fair and pretty equitable with other facilities in the area.
And that's a damage deposit. So then if everything comes back, they get it back.
Correct.
Perfect.
So as long as no damage is done, you're in and out on time, that is refunded back to them.
Wonderful.
So even though they're making maybe more of a mess and that kind of stuff, it doesn't go to that. It totally is if they cause.
It's for
real
damage. If the mess is extensive, I haven't kept a deposit for a mess in a really long time, but it's more as a safeguard to let people, so folks are more invested in cleaning up and getting out and taking care of our facilities.
And the
when we're
actual
there.
facility rental covers the mess and cleaning up the mess and those kind of
Cor-
things.
Yes, to an extent, we ask folks to take all of their decorations with them. We provide garbage cans and dumpsters to dispose of their waste. That's not always the case. It doesn't always make it out there, but usually we just take it out and it's not a big deal. Really, though, we're starting to get some larger parties and the deposit increases just so people are a little more mindful when they're in the facilities.
Is there a scenario that if the damage exceeds $500, would they be billed for that additional damage? Feel
Correct.
liable for it? Okay.
In my years,
Right,
I
and
don't
probably a
think
very
we've
rare
ever had
scenario,
damage
right.
that exceeded, so. But yes, and that's written in the contract and.
What about the insurance?
Insurance, we don't require it for every group. There was a question, that came back regarding, insurance. Can you remind me what that was?
It was whether or not, what were the circumstances which we require it and how is it assessed?
So this has been in the policies and procedures since the beginning. To my knowledge, it's been several years since it happened, but a scenario like that would be if someone did stay over like 3 hours past their rental time. So they're supposed to be out by midnight. They're still there at 2:30, 3 in the morning. They leave a giant mess. If they come back again, their account would get flagged within our software. And then if they wanted to rent again, that would be a scenario where we would request that they get.
Prime example is we used to have a New Year's Eve group that notoriously and it was a company deal. They were there every year. That would be a scenario that we would now in turn charge them, have them go out and get through Tulip, get insurance because they year after year created issues. We haven't really had a big issue with it. Until we do, I think we're just trying to be as easy and as accommodating as we can be.
Well, like a New Year's Eve party or something, right, in the community center and a bunch of people got a little.
Just a little.
Little,
Mhm.
Little rambunctious.
just the light fall over and back into it or anything could happen.
Yeah, they weren't that, so but it was just, there was boas everywhere. It was just, there's certain things that, you give them a chance once and then
That's good.
they learn their lesson and then they have to get insurance.
I guess my concern was there's no kind of objective criteria that's listed in the policy that tells you when you should do it. Instead of making everybody do some or nobody do any of the insurance, you kind of just, I'm not gonna say arbitrarily, but you just kind of make a call and say, I'm hearing, at least in standards, at least you were here before and you did something bad. But if you were to impose an insurance obligation on a brand new renter because you just don't think what they're doing there, it might cause problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any scenario where we would, yeah, I get that, I understand that, but there wouldn't. It
So
would be a
basically, we would like to
retroactive
have some kind
action.
of reference in there to the.
That's what I was
criteria.
asking, build
Yeah.
some sort of language in there that would.
I'm just
Would
throwing it out.
tighten that
I
up.
don't
Yeah.
Think about it, maybe the city attorney would wanna put some language in there, groups over 50 that are intending to drink. Like we do when we do Huntmeyer, I mean, we don't let people just rent the space out and not have some sort of insurance behind them, what they're doing.
There's kind of where.
I know.
It's a
It's a different thing.
Well, but it's also the same kind, there's a lot of similarities and so maybe that's something that we, as a bigger picture need to look at.
So the school district provides us, so I work with some of the nonprofits that use the school district facilities. They require us to provide an insurance policy and our declarations, regardless of
We have insurance for the fields and those type of users do require, we just haven't for one-off, if you have a wedding, we have not had the need yet to, but doesn't mean that we can't look at that.
I don't know, I just thought it was interesting because I've just come across this in the last year or so with the school district using, even with school district personnel participating in what we're doing it, they want the insurance policy and want to see that we have the money behind, even though there's never been an issue. So anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely something I'll start looking into.
It sounds like a larger discussion.
Yeah,
What's that?
They're naming the school district additional insured.
but is
But
it?
they-
No, we're insured as the private party using the facility for the school district, not the school district's insured, us.
No, I
What
meant
type of events are we looking at?
naming.
The penny
naming-
auction.
Yes, an additional name.
So we're using the RMAC
For the auction?
for the auction. And in order to use that facility, we have to provide, even
Sure.
though they're associated with
Gotcha.
the nonprofit to provide.
It's really expensive. I'm not saying do it, okay? I just.
No, but it's worth looking at. I mean,
Want
it's-
to make sure that you had some criteria and at least you have some, so,
We have the foolproof wording of may,
yes.
city may require. Solid.
There's a loan officer who
Foolproof.
says.
Yeah, foolproof.
May is good.
Anyway, sorry, Justin, sorry, we kind of got off.
No,
track
that's
there.
all right.
Please
That's
continue.
great. That these discussions are good. Okay, moving on, I guess. The next item that was removed was on page 4. It refers to a beverage service that we no longer offer. Coming out of COVID, we don't do in-house catering. We did provide a beverage service, but just it was at that time, we took it out of the rates, and actually that was brought before the park board when we increased our rates in 2021. And it just was in the policies and procedures still, so I just removed the language because we're not offering it anymore. The last one was recreation program, so it has to do, we're looking at page 7, rental categories and fees. The top one is for reduced fees. We do offer reduced rates for nonprofit groups, public agencies at 60% of our regular rate. If you look at 1A, City of Lacey recreation programs, proposing that we not charge them any fees for our own programs within our department. It's something else we kind of stopped doing coming out of COVID, trying to get increased program offerings, get people back into our programs and our facilities. And it just feels like it's time. This is a policy that was from the beginning and just feels like the money stays within the general fund in our department and we're just moving it around. So proposing that we not charge our recreation programs for using our facilities. And we're really making an effort to increase program offerings within city-owned facilities, and it's been pretty good.
This is just for City of Lacey like other City of Lacey, like let's say the police
Police want to
department.
do a training or anything like that, they would pay the reduced rate for
The
public
60%.
agencies.
It's just for our culture, parks and cultural
Yeah, that
classes.
makes sense.
Like Taekwondo and we have ballet and those
Yeah.
type of programs.
Yeah. Makes sense.
No need to move from jail to jail.
On the reduced fee. It says limited on to Monday, Thursday from 7 AM to 10 PM and then Friday 7 to 4. What you have in
Yeah, so regular, we have 3 rate tiers. It's the regular rates, which are Monday through Friday at 4 PM. We offer the reduced rate at 60% for nonprofits and public agencies for that same frame. And then weekends are 4 PM, Friday through Sunday, where the rates increase, which is pretty standard for all facilities locally. Great. And that was all the changes I had.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Justin. That's very informative, and thank you everyone for the great discussion points. And yeah, so is this, I guess it's an actual item, isn't
Yeah.
it? So we have to vote on this. So were there any further discussions and questions for Justin before we move on to the making a motion and do the actual item? All right, well, hearing none, do I hear a motion to approve the updated Jacob Smith Community Center and Jacob Smith House policy and deposit update?
So moved.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, hearing none, you get your way.
Thank you
Good job,
all.
Justin.
I appreciate you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, so that moves us on to 6B, which is six, was I right with six? The only other page here? Yep, 6B. Which is 2025 Lacey Parks Cultural Recreation Board accomplishments. And that Jenny Wilson, our senior park, will be presenting that.
Thank you. So at our last meeting, I presented a draft version of our accomplishments. So now I'm just giving you the final version and asking for final action, any changes to it. So this is something that we use when we have our joint meeting with city council. We go over our accomplishments and work plan.
And these are kind of did a highlight of them at the last meeting too, right?
Yep,
So,
yep.
and it really no changes since then. Okay, well then,
And so that was kind of my question is, because it looked
Exactly.
very similar or exactly, I don't want to say exactly. but
Exactly.
Very similar.
Exactly the same.
It hasn't been shared yet with council.
No. Mm-mm. And I don't know that we've always presented a draft version and then a final version, but sometimes it's nice to, especially if there's something that you guys might want to add to it. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to do that at our last meeting, but
no, that's great. You guys want to chat about it or anything? No,
No,
we're
it looked
okay?
exactly like I thought it would look.
Thanks. All right, we're
Expectations.
hearing no dissent. Do I hear a motion to approve the 2025 Lacey Parks Cultural Recreation Board accomplishments?
I move.
All right, have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, hearing none, approved. We're on a roll, people. All right, now we're on to 6C, which is 2026 Lacey Parks Culture and Recreation Board Work Plan, also presented by Jenny Wilson.
yep. So similar, gave a draft at the last meeting. This is just the final version of the work plan with all of our projects, planning, construction projects here. And again, this is something that goes to that we present at the joint work session, which will be in February.
And I thought the joint session was in January.
That's later in my announcements. It's been changed.
Oh.
Oh,
That'll come, I'm gonna talk about that for the calendar, which has been updated.
which is
I mean, it's
of interest.
impressive that you. picked up on
No,
this.
because I'm gonna be gone during some of that.
Ah.
time. So that's why I'm focused on it. So I think that we all supported what you put in the draft.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking you're looking for us to make a recommendation at the joint session.
I think this is where we'll take final action here.
And then you'll just present it as this is our recommendation. Okay.
Yeah, cause we looked at there were some changes that we made from at the last meeting.
Right.
This is the final version from the
Right.
changes that we've looked at last time, so. Okay,
And just keeping the things that didn't make the cut on a separate list that we can come back to next year.
Yeah.
well,
Things that didn't make it into the budget, we can come back to.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, usually we add, as they get approved in the budget, they get added on here.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a wish list somewhere.
all right, well, let's, is everyone, any other questions or comments that people wanna make about this before we vote?
I did have a question about the Wonderwood Park Trail and Court upgrades. I'm sorry if I missed this last time. The sunset, does that mean?
The sunset entrance.
I was
one
like,
that
are we
the-
sunsetting?
Oh, that's a good,
Yeah.
it's a
We
sunset.
haven't started
We
it
always
yet.
refer to the different, the Brentwood entrance or the Sunset entrance.
Does everyone know where the sunset entrance is to
I do
Wonderwood?
now, you.
Is it the
clarified
Brentwood
that.
entrance?
So there's Brentwood
Right.
Drive that's off of, so there's the Sykes one.
Yeah,
And then there's the Brentwood Drive, which is, you know, you kind of come out off Ruddle.
yeah.
But if you go down 28th and then you take a left into the park, it's kind of tucked away into another street and there's another that's where the ADA playground is.
Okay,
The other
that's
bathrooms, that's
sunset
the
one.
sunset.
Oh,
I
that
used
is.
to call it
okay.
the kitty park versus the other park.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, totally. They, and if you guys go there, there's two trees that lean into each other and their leaves like overlap and it's really awesome.
Very quiet
Yeah,
over
so this
there.
project we've had for a while, on our list, just kind of with the backlog of public works, so.
Yeah, yeah.
But this will, the basketball court is in pretty bad condition. and then
Yes.
the Trail that goes around it to the bathroom, that's really cracked, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's a pretty small project,
Narrow too.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so that's what that project will be.
Yeah, okay,
We do have funding for it. It's
great.
Awesome. Well, great. Well, do I hear a motion to approve the 2026 work plan?
So moved.
So moved. Second? You wanna
Second.
second that? All right. All in favor?
Hi.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Knock that one out too. Motion carries. Now on to 6D, the 2026 Park Cultural Recreation Board proposed meeting calendar.
Yeah, so this is exactly the same as the one from last time. That was just a draft. And so no changes have been made, except we just found out this week that the original date, January 13th for the joint work session is getting changed to February 24th.
Oh,
Okay.
so are we having a meeting on the normal January? No.
No, it's right around New Year's. And so it's not a great time to have meetings anyways,
Yeah.
but we'll just have 2 meetings in February,
It's February what?
24th.
Okay, so no meeting on the 7th of January.
All right. Any questions about that, guys?
No, I was just worried because I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna miss the February 4th meeting, but I'll let Carter know.
You have
Taiwan.
For
To visit, yes, vacation and visit my bonus daughter. She teaches school in Taipei.
That's awesome.
I'm jealous, you'll be there right around.
I was hoping we would be there for the Lunar New Year, but
Right
her
after.
days off, no, we're right before.
Already.
Right before. I'm very disappointed,
everything.
but those were her days off, so.
That's great. Well, it's gonna be a fun trip. All right, well, so, you know, so make a motion to approve with the change to the joint meeting with city council that's been moved from January 13th to February 24th.
And no meeting in January.
And no January meeting, correct?
Yes.
Get a motion?
So moved.
All right, second?
Second.
I think Bill won. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, hearing none, that is approved.
I will tell you, almost every one of those spring days is on a Mariners game. That's at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh,
No.
do you usually go to those games?
Yes.
Oh,
I
okay.
love the Wednesday afternoon games, cause you can ride the train up and ride the train back
Good
to Lakewood.
commute.
Yeah,
Outer thing.
Yes, and out early.
if you don't make it back in time, you know, then
Might
that's,
see me on
you'll
camera.
be you'll be online, you know, and
It's
I've,
okay to miss a meeting every
I've
once in a
done,
while.
I've done
Okay.
I've done a Zoom call from my phone from that train before, it's okay. Trying to not let the person know on the other end that I actually went to a game, yeah. All right, so let's move on to 6E, which is the 2026 proposed Lacey Parks Cultural and Recreation budget. There's a lot. Lots. Oh, and it's, yeah, Sufei was just going to, present that with us.
Well, thank you very much. Similar to what we,
Can I just say something really quickly?
yeah,
I just needed to note that I included in your packet the budget, proposed budget. And I included a page that Bill noticed and asked some questions about. So there's a page that's actually for like our citywide, and it shows like transfers out. So that shouldn't have been included because it's not part of our budget. It's a citywide budget. And then also there was a typo when we were doing this budget. And so it showed a professional services line item for the rack going from 20,000 to 120,000. So
That's a typo.
yeah. Staying at 20,000, unfortunately. We almost got almost got an extra 100,000 in a typo, but didn't quite.
They knew it was that easy.
Oh,
And
it just,
so thanks for checking so closely.
Literally carried the one.
point of clarification, this proposed budget has already been in the hearing that was a week or so ago, right?
I believe the last hearing was last night with city council. So yeah, it's not a great.
Okay, that was the first hearing, was 2 weeks ago or whatever?
It's been through, it's not really good timing, I mean, we're already
Right.
moving, but we still need your blessing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes
it would have been, I don't know, the timing would have been nice to have been able to go and speak at the hearings.
Yeah.
But
Did you get pushed back?
no, but it'd
Yeah.
be pushed forward. I would like to push forward on some of the things that, you know.
Did the new council members show up and just sit and watch?
it was at a work, was it a work session? But yeah, all the council members are there for the hearing.
The new ones too? That's what you was
I
asking.
don't know. I
I
didn't.
mean, they can watch on television,
Right,
it doesn't matter.
Right, I don't think. I
Yeah, it'd just
saw
be
them
interesting,
there.
you know.
To get their.
It's always, well, no, just see how. Whether they ask any questions or anything.
Hovering over there.
Yes,
Papers going everywhere.
right.
Yeah, move on. The Parks, 2026 Parks, Culture and Recreation proposed budget. So it doesn't move it.
Okay.
Part of that's food.
Just that.
Okay, oh, there it
Oh,
goes.
there we go.
Hit the arrow,
You just had to
the
look.
invisible arrow.
Good look. Yeah, and this is, I mean, this is just what I had done last year. It's just kind of an overview, and I'll kind of talk about the expenditures and the revenue, and any questions you have, feel free to ask. The entire, proposed budget is, 5,125,047. The community buildings, which houses more than the community center Jacob Smith House, and we'll talk about that in a few slides later. Is 962,886. The RAC general fund, which is just our portion, not the public works, and we'll also talk about that in a little bit, is 353,386. And then the general recreation, which is, the teens, the aquatics, and everything else that prizes our department, is $3,809,474,000 this year. Next slide is kind of looking at the proposed general fund. Kind of talks about how we break down that 3,809,000. There's the volunteers. The general services is the 101, which is the admin portion of it. Is the Jen's out a part of it. The big projects are out of there. Jenny's out of there, part of mine, part of Carter's. That's the biggest chunk. Then we have the youth teens. Recreation admin is the front office folks, aquatics. So it kind of gives you a breakdown of all of the different areas that comprise of our big pie.
And so your volunteers, I can't read from back here, I'm sorry.
Like the cost of the coordinator?
Cause that comes into it too.
Okay.
But it's not, we don't compensate them for being volunteers, or we don't claim
No,
hours,
it's-
dollar per hour that they
No.
volunteer or
We
any of that
do
stuff.
claim that, but that doesn't come into here. This
Okay.
is when you're looking at, it is a part of our general fund, which is all of our salary. So the reason that is so high is because a portion of Scott's salary is out of that 26,000 because he coordinates them. So
Okay,
when you're looking at all these, whether it be the physical activities, aquatics, whoever is, their salaries are all part of that as well, salaries and benefits, so.
Okay, so some of the employees, like they're in different buckets of that's pulled from. a little
Yeah,
bit.
so as an example, Scott, a portion of his comes out of volunteers and a portion of his comes out of aquatics. Looking at Cody and now Doug, part of theirs comes out of outdoor, part of theirs comes out of the cultural arts and recreation, a part of theirs comes out of teens. So there's a different percentage of their time, whatever is spent, that percentage comes out of the general fund for those particular line items.
Thank you for clarifying that.
And they don't have to track their time that way, you just spread it, right?
No, it's just spread out. So when
Yeah.
they do when we do payroll, it's all up in finance. We have a spreadsheet and it's a percentage comes out.
Just spread.
Example mine, I'm like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10.
I would
out of-
hate
across
to think
everybody's.
that they had the time to count.
No,
accordingly. That would be horrible.
that would be awful time consuming, so no. But it is spread out over
Yeah.
different areas, so.
Yeah.
Next slide. Kind of looking at, now we looked at the general fund per se, meaning the programming. This is the community buildings proposed budget, which is 962,886. If you look at the two, the community center is a huge chunk of 420, 983, and where the Jacob Smith House is 134,683. Some of the things that are in there out of the community buildings proposed budget is you have the senior center, which is 35,000. Museum building is 19,822. The museum complex is gonna be a little over 12,000. Between the community center and the Jacob Smith, their maintenance, there are two separate line items, but that's about 120,000. The senior center maintenance is 205,750, but some of that is because there's some extra work being done. This year, we also, the childcare facility maintenance comes out of the community buildings fund. So, but just kind of showed you where our two, the Jacob Smith House and the community center are the two bigger chunks, with the exception of the senior center this year that has some other things going.
Is the childcare center a new thing or has it always been?
It's always been in there. It's just out of the community buildings fund. It's just,
That's mostly utility tax.
it's that, and it's, it's pretty much maintenance is where the childcare center, what's in here is Chris Beard in their time if they have to go do maintenance.
But most of our stuff out of the general fund is utility tax money.
Yeah, some of it is, yeah.
Crank that
Right.
heat, people.
Question?
Nobody said crank that heat.
I know.
Yeah, it's.
Now we're gonna look at the hose rack. You can look at the general services, which I showed you, which is 353, which is really small piece of the pie. We don't have anything to do with necessarily the rack maintenance. But that's where a majority of the money goes, and they do a fabulous job, so it's,
And rack maintenance comes off of the fees that we charge people to use the rack?
it all goes into the same pot. Between that and we have $400 for PFD money that comes in. We have lodging tax, which
Oh, you get lodging tax too.
in this, it's gonna show it as lower because they hadn't approved, there was a change in the lodging tax. I believe we're getting 286,000 this year instead of 180, but it's not approved through council yet. They were supposed to do it this last go around, I didn't, so in my figures, when we talk about revenue here shortly, I didn't include the increase of the lodging tax, because what it'll do is it'll just decrease something else, so,
Yeah. Of course.
yeah.
Just can't add on.
There's more.
No, I know.
Hmm.
Those were the expenditures out of the deal. This is the revenue. This is a projected revenue for the different areas. This is all kind of listed out as to where things have gone. So the field use fees, you notice there's 95,000, but that's a combined fees between the city of Lacey fields as well as the North Thurston Public School fields. So between the two, that we bring in about 95,000. We do pay back to the school district for their fields. They pay the Santa cans. We keep 10% and then the rest of it goes back to the district. So they'll be they get close to $30,000 a year back
Off the fence.
off of the fees. So,
And that includes the pools or just the?
no, that's
Just the fields.
just the fields. We pay a separate for the
The pools?
pools. That's a separate contract. Thanks, Jen. Revenue from community center Jacob Smith House, it continues to jump. Obviously, the community center is the biggest chunk. It's budgeted at 240. If things continue the way they are, it will continue to increase. The Jacob Smith House is at 45, but I think we're already for this year. We're in the 50s. It's hard when we're having to put our presentations and put our budget forth in June, July.
Alright.
You know, we don't have a whole lot, we know a whole lot more now than we did when the
So-
budget was done, so. That's a positive, so we're happy about that.
Just undersell
Yep.
profit, that's good.
And the revenue, obviously the transfers is a huge amount, because that's utility tax and lodging tax, which is about 638,000. Revenue for the fields, we have a tournament, that's admissions, the shelters, sports. If there's a sports activity where there be a camp or something, a Skyhawks camp, if it's held out at the RAC, we pay, the revenue goes to the RAC, but we also pay the contract for Skyhawks out of the RAC back to them, so we're benefiting there, league fees, concession, banners, just some of the others, PFD, interest, and the earnings, so that's it in a bunch. The next is the budget requests that were approved. I think Jenny's gonna talk a little bit about theirs. The first slide is for just the Parks, Recreation, and Culture. And then the next one is the parks. Wanna talk about those, or do you want me to talk about those?
Oh, I don't know that.
We need to, I mean, it's in your budget.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
it's in your packet.
earlier in the year, when we were working on our budget proposal, we sent the list of what we were requesting. So this is what's known as the yes, no list.
Yeah.
But I like putting
So,
yeses.
Yeah, exactly. So it just summarizes, I won't go into detail, but essentially a few of them that were approved is replacing the rack sound system, some inventory for the new museum, and the community center sound system. So some of the bigger items didn't get approved, but so we'll request them again.
Number 10.
Except on Timber Park.
Yeah, so like Huntermer Park, it's a to be determined.
Okay.
Not a black and white, yes, no. And so the caveat to it is that there might be a future budget amendment, or funding strategy with other sources or partners to make that project happen. So there's a couple of them that happened to, like the rack concrete replacement. It's to be determined, because we're gonna try to incorporate it into the rack improvement project. And then similar, the Huntermer sidewalk replacement, if we can combine it with the plaza and whole project, then it might still be able to happen, but just more funding is needed, so. And then this is, the parks and facilities maintenance. So these aren't technically ours, but they're obviously in our parks. And so replacing the roof at the senior center, that was approved, community center beam, some equipment at Coolio Park. The journey level maintenance tech position at Coolio Park was not approved. And then just annual expenses for Coolio Park were big ones.
Sorry, what wasn't approved?
The additional maintenance staff at Coolio Park.
Okay.
So when I was talking about some of the community buildings proposed, part of the reason why the senior center facility maintenance was so much higher than it had been in the past was because of some of the roof that's needing to be replaced. So, is the roof, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
So that's where some of that plays in, and that was part of why we have this here, so.
Yeah, the senior center.
Addition put on.
When you give us the money,
Well, I was just curious.
I know you got the money, come on.
No,
Made it.
it was an addition. put
Turn 'em
on.
upside down. Shake 'em.
Yeah, we're
Wasn't
not,
that many years ago.
well, I don't know. I'd have to look,
10 years ago, it shouldn't need a pre.
well,
That's for something, that's.
I don't know, it just, our maintenance folks, I know nothing about it, I know nothing. about
Harsh
roofing.
winter, Gary.
Yeah.
Took it out last.
So for the maintenance technician position for Kuyo Park, is that something we'll just ask for later?
Yep.
How will that impact the maintenance out there?
it's going to be probably a impact park system wide,
Yeah,
because
because
we're
they're
just,
spread more thin.
yes.
They're looking at shuffling some of the seasonal positions, summer to help out there. I know that you're looking at taking one from Rainier Vista. That I know of, but I know that's how they're trying to make it work.
Is there a typo on this line too? The
Probably.
police station, something about the
Oh.
police station?
So it was a combined, when it was requested, it was a combined position between, for Cudjoe Park and the new police station. So because it's such a larger facility,
Yeah.
it will need, additional maintenance and keep, so. It was
We're gonna
combined.
split the maintenance staff between taking care of a park and taking care of a police station, is that what?
That was the idea, but that's not happening because it wasn't funded.
Police station.
So basically, all the current maintenance.
They can clean up after themselves.
Right, so all the current maintenance staff are just getting reshuffled and, I mean, the work has to be done, the maintenance has to be done at those facilities and the grounds.
Anyway, we have a comparison of the last 2 years, little more for general recreation, a little less for community buildings, a little more for the rec, so it all pretty much still.
The overall
Balance
budget
it
didn't
out.
go up that much?
No.
Not at all?
It went, ours didn't as much as it could have. We went through and there was Chelsea up in finance went through and worked with Jen and I, we went through, we did a basic line by line to kind of look at what was being used, what wasn't being used, what needed to be changed, and really did an audit of all of the line items, not only for the general rec, I mean, they did it for the entire city. But that was, I think, where we came out as good as we did, because there were certain areas that we could pull back on, and there's certain areas that needed a little bit more lift, so we did that for not only the expenditures, but also the revenue.
That's
Any
your last,
questions?
that's your last slide, right?
That's my last slide. Thank you very much, Jenny.
Sue? Very, very comprehensive. It's much easier to read it in that,
Yeah, thank you.
that pie form than,
putting that
than
together.
than line item, so I appreciate it.
And that, budget is an action item.
Oh, okay. All right, so any other questions for Jenny or Sue about the 2026 proposed Lacey Parks and Cultural Recreation budget?
Other than we want more money?
That'd be nice.
Snakes.
Thoughts?
Yep.
Shake them.
Yep.
Get in those pockets. All right, well, hearing none, do I get a motion to approve the budget as written?
I move to approve.
Awesome. Do I have a second?
Second.
Awesome. All in favor?
I,
Any opposed? All right, hearing none, motion carries. Okay, we blew through that. I think that was the most action items we've had
I know, there
in
was a
one
lot,
day, and
yeah.
thank you everyone for good discussion about that, keeping it going, getting us through it. That's great. Yeah, I guess that moves on to number 7, reports, right? Any commissioners have any reports or anything that they would like to share with the group? I guess the only thing I had, the lighted parade, or I guess not the parade anymore, but the
Christmas holiday.
holiday lighting ceremony was really great. The weather held out, a little bit of drizzle every now and then, but for the most part, there was a camel. I don't think I've ever been that close to a camel before. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, petting zoo, and the food was great, and there were tons of vendors. A lot of community partners this time, which I thought was great. There was like the Crisis Clinic of Thurston Mason County. We had a booth there, and like next to us, we had they're giving away like free flu shots, and it was just a bubble machines everywhere. Just blowing fake snow on everyone, and it was really great. So I'm if you didn't make it,
we didn't make it.
sorry, you didn't. Maybe next year. I don't know. No.
That's for the voting. Who won the?
Oh gosh, I don't remember.
I saw it on Facebook. I know Sunset Air won one.
Sunset Air was, I think, the People's Choice Award. If
Yeah.
I'm not.
Was their display like
I wasn't a judge this year, so I didn't I didn't go around and like really spend a lot of time on each of the vehicles, but. You know, it's funny, by the time you're announcing at 7:15 at night, and like everyone's gone, you're just announcing to like an empty field, so I don't think half the people weren't even there to come get their
Oh, thanks.
medals. But it was, no, it was great, you know, the marching band played and music and Santa, and it was just perfect slice of Americana. And then I had just, and I don't know if you might do it in your report, are you gonna talk about Cuyo?
Oh, yeah, I'll give an update.
Okay,
Yep.
cool, awesome, then I yield my time. Sue?
Oh, for the recreation report.
Yeah.
The only thing I've got is we had registration for winter quarter today. Front office staff, as always, did a fabulous job. We brought in 20,839 so far today for first day of registration. Little over 18,000 of it was people that registered and just get their information online, which is huge because we've been trying and working, and Liz and Carolyn have been working real hard on getting people acclimated to doing their registering online, and actually the website had $19,387 worth of programs that they've registered for this year. And we gave out 420 in restricted scholarships, so that's a really good start for winter quarter, and it always is a little close, cause you know, we're right close to Christmas, so we'll probably have another push right after the first of the year, but the staff did a great job.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay, I just looked it up. People's Choice for lighted parade is the Ground Zero Outreach. And then Sunset Air had the brightest display, and the most cheer was Donut House, and best design was Materials Northwest.
I remember the donut house, they had a huge van that was just like covered in like sheets of lights, and it was like blowing snow on everyone, so, yeah,
Would be cheery.
it was very cheerful. Thank you for looking that up.
Yeah.
So was that done?
Yeah, that was all I much wanted to talk about registration, and give a big kudos and to the front office, to Liz and Carolyn and to Carter for everything they do to help get that going and make it go as smoothly as it did.
Awesome, well, thank you. And so, yeah, park maintenance supervisor, that's landing on you for Jamie Oakland.
I'm Jamie's reporter. So they trespassed 4 people from the regional athletic complex, which doesn't really sound like, you know, part of the maintenance job, but they deal with a lot of challenging issues out there. So appreciate their work on.
They
that.
were like people being there when they shouldn't have been there?
So 3 teens were trespassed for vandalism in the park.
Oh.
And then having some kind of verbal confrontation with some tournament directors, and theft of the tip jar from concessions.
Oh,
So another teen was trespassed for reckless driving in the parking lots.
so is that like the police are involved and then you,
Yep.
the police actually trespass, it wasn't our staff that had to be like, you're not allowed to come back, the cops?
Yep,
Okay.
they get an actual citation that
Okay.
says you can't come back. And actually, I don't know if it's permanently or if it's for a year.
I'm not sure that it is, you know, when you do it, it's just real hard because unless you have the ability to monitor it on a regular basis, but at least it kind of puts the fear into some of these kids.
We can't just do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Tell your friends.
We have that new display, we can put their pictures on the display,
Right.
like these people are not allowed here.
Right.
Big pictures.
Yeah, so they also mitigated 4 acts of graffiti, replaced worn sod on the soccer goal mouths at the rec. They installed a new ice machine at the rec concessions, removed 125 tons of leaves from parks right of ways, installed a holiday light display at Hunter Park, and decorated the Rudolph Mobile, which is used at that event, but then also with fire department in their Santa Mobile, so very exciting. And then they onboarded 1 new full-time employee and did 1 hazard tree removal.
So are they sucked into all the rest of this, you know, taking down the trees in the city? Which need to be happening, but it's getting a lot of, I mean, I feel sorry for the contractors that are out there
Right.
because they're getting a lot of negative blowback on that.
Right, not parks maintenance particularly, but Jamie oversees right of ways. And so those trees.
So he's having to deal with,
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, like looking down Yelm Highway, that whole sidewalk is choked with, on both sides, just these huge overgrown
Right.
trees, and it's just tearing up the sidewalk too.
just walking through my neighborhood, the ones that they've removed in the last month. The sidewalks are like this. I mean,
Right.
it's totally understandable. I think that, I don't know if it's our role to say that, but the city would benefit with saying whether they're gonna replace the trees and with what. Because people are just like, oh my God, they're just moving, but
Yeah.
you walk along those sidewalks, that some of them are bowed so bad that
They're dangerous.
they are very dangerous. So I totally get what's happening, but they're cut off here and all people see is that, the tree was cut off here in the city of trees,
My understanding,
Yeah,
Yelm Highway was very different when they did the widening project.
Oh,
when they
yeah.
had State and federal money, and there were mandates that they had to do trees.
Right.
And we even talked about the types of trees they had to plant, even though
Right.
they didn't do the research on what was gonna buckle. And so it's not
Well-
like people said, let's put the worst tree we possibly can do.
A lot of that happened on College though, too. When College was widened, they put, they were told they had to put trees in and,
Just very fast growing.
it was, and it was, they were just, but.
Yeah, but the
again, it
trees,
would
the
just-
trees will, I believe I read this, they will get replaced. with better-
I've understood that too, but
Right.
it's just.
It's not communicated about very.
Exactly. There's
not much
Big
transparency.
sign out there that says, we're doing this because,
Right,
so that everybody drives by.
right.
Do we take consideration in like the sex of the tree, like, because we put on all like male trees and it's like just tons of pollen everywhere and stuff instead of
I
putting.
don't know.
Okay. Yeah,
Can check.
I know that's just kind of been like
I
kind of
totally-
the standard for all cities, like,
Yeah.
because they don't want pollinated berries and stuff to like fall and make a mess. So they plant all male trees, but then that, just the pollen count just
Kills you.
kills you, yeah.
I noticed on McAllister Park, that new roundabout on Marvin. Yeah, they've done a little different design. I don't know if the city had any input. It was a county project, but
Actually,
they
I haven't
put
seen that roundabout yet.
gravel soled shoulders between the sidewalk and the road and stuff like that. They have very few spotted trees, but it's still, I think it's gonna work out fine. So
Okay.
more of the maintenance and all of that, but
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Sorry to keep interrupting you, yeah.
Oh, no, that was it for
Okay.
park maintenance.
Okay. And then you're on E, senior park planning.
Yeah, so just a few updates, Cuyo Park. So I think at our last meeting, we talked about, we were hopeful to open the park to the public at the end of December. So they're dealing with some issues with drainage that need to be addressed, so we're still working on what the opening date is, but it might be pushed back past December, so
Is it flooding right now?
there's been a lot of rain.
Yeah.
A lot of rain, yeah, and so there's some areas where we're having some issues of it draining properly, so trying to get that figured out.
Now, is that gonna turn into, like, they're gonna have to install additional like draining systems
You know,
underneath the
I'm not
fields
entirely
to
sure.
mitigate that?
Stormwater management?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what they haven't said yet what but they're definitely working with the engineers on it to get it fixed, so.
Perfect.
And then Woodland Creek Bridge, I think I sent an email or texted a lot of you that we're planning on doing a short ribbon cutting ceremony on December 12th at 3 p.m. So just to celebrate the completion of that
Can you
project.
get the owl there?
I'm sorry, what? Oh,
Can
I
you get the
know,
owl there?
I know. I took that picture. Wasn't that great? Yeah, I think that got a lot of Facebook traction, but I'm pretty sure it was the owl, not the bridge. Totally fine. So just meet at the bridge site and hope you can all attend.
3 o'clock on the 12th.
Friday the 12th.
Friday, next Friday.
Yep.
Okay.
We're moving along with our project at Rainier Vista. So again, this is the pickleball, safety netting and ping pong. We went out for consultants and received 7 companies that submitted qualifications. So we're currently reviewing them and ranking them, and hopefully we'll have a company selected and we'll let you know at our next meeting. Rack improvements. So Jen gave an update to City Council on November 25th. So a lot of information there was similar to what you received. But if you'd like to watch it, it's always interesting. They also included preliminary cost estimates for the project. So as you remember, there was a base bid, and that was converting field 2 to synthetic, adding lighting, seating, fencing, and netting. And so the estimate for that is about 7.4 million. And then there's the base bid alternatives. So that would be soccer field fencing, Wi-Fi improvements, baseball and soccer areas, concrete pavement replacement that we put in a budget request for. So to add those, it would be an additional 3.5 million. And then there's future improvements. I like to think of these are big improvements. So that's the additional seating, restrooms, ticket booth, concessions, locker rooms, and a press box. So those are estimated at about 21.7 million. Those are probably potential partnership if we can get any of those elements. So and then Bush Park Playground replacement. So we don't have any significant updates, although we're working towards getting a contract with the playground company that was selected for the tugboat design.
But that, we're looking at springtime for that?
Yep. And then just gonna give Jen's report. So the Lacey Museum, I think I sent an email out that the Lacey Museum is almost finished. So this is the new one on 6th Avenue at the Belltown Center. And they're offering free tours, small group tours. So you can sign up for those during December. You register for it. It's for free just on our Civic Rec program. And then it'll be open regular hours starting January 15th. Some other things, so some upcoming events is that we have Signing Santa on Friday, and then 2 history talks, December 18th and January 8th. And then our next Parks Board meeting is February 4th. And then also just kind of saying thank you so much for Parks Board and all your work that you do for our department during 2025. We really appreciate all the efforts and time, and it's a lot to read through all these packets. Happy holidays. For seeing you next year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, if anything else from anyone? No? All right, 6:26, we are adjourned, everyone. Awesome.
Happy holiday, call.
Yeah.
Happy holidays. I hope